We're going to be looking at some more school word kanji in this video tutorial, starting over here with the kanji which has a core or base meaning of tall or high. Now we're going to be using it in the context of a school. And if you have a look over here, you can see the character for high with the character for school, and we get high school, and that's pronounced core. Now it's translated as senior high school or high school, and it actually refers to the school in Japan which is the last 3 years of schooling, because in Japan they have primary or elementary school for 6 years, then they have middle school for 3 years, and then finally they have senior high school, which is also called just high school, and that's also for 3 years. Notice that unlike the middle school and the primary school, it's just high and school. There's no learning character in between. So this school is not a 3-character word, it's a 2-character word, core. And let's have a look at the origin of that kanji for high or tall. Now these are the very oldest forms, and you can see clearly, look, it's just a tall building. You can see the roof on top and the windows. These are the very oldest ones, the oracle ones, and they're sometimes up to 4,000 years old. Slightly less old, the bronze characters here, they're up to 3,000 years old, and you can still see clearly that really does look like a Chinese building, doesn't it? And then the slightly more modern, that's up to 2,000 years old. Here they are again. Not much change there, and finally 2,000 years ago when they standardized it, it looked like this, and it became the modern kanji over here, which is the same in the traditional form and the simplified form, so it's a tall building. Shall we check out the stroke order? We're going to start with the roof of the building, and it's got a nice little chimney. So we're going to pop the chimney on the roof, then we're going to go the roof next, working from top to bottom, left to right. Then we've got one of these classic shapes. On its own it would be a mouth, but these box shapes always go down on the left, across and round, all in one on the right, and close it off if there's nothing in the middle. Then we're going to do a similar shape, but we're not going to be closing it off. These are the walls of the first floor. There's the ceiling of the first floor, down here, all in one on the right. You can kick off if you wish, but that's entirely optional. But that leads you over to this stroke here, another box starting down on the left, as we always do, across and down in one on the right, and finish it off, and there we have tall or high. Next we need to look at the character which has a core or base meaning of big, and we're going to use that this time over here with a character for learning, not school but learning, and we're going to be left with big learning. That's pronounced daigaku, and it means a university. Now this is the very oldest form of the character for big, and you really can see it's just a man with its arms or his arms stretched out. Look at this one here, it's even got a head on top. That one's got a head on top as well. Now these are the oracle bones. They're the ones which are up to 4,000 years old, and if we have a look at the more modern versions, you can see it still looks clearly like a man. And then this is how it developed. So the standardized form 2,000 years ago, a man with big arms outstretched, and over here this is what it looks like now. And the stroke order is as usual. We start with the top stroke, and it's left to right, so across one there's the man with his arms outstretched, and here's one leg, and then another. And you might recall that the character for person is exactly the same, but without the arms outstretched. So a person would be 1, 2, and then to make that person big, you add the arms, and of course they go first. Ich, ni, sang, big.